Man, I'm glad I don't demonetize my videos because I think this could get somebody demonetized. Anyway, so we're gonna have a review of the Seeaudio X Z Reviews Rinko. This is a one dynamic, one microplanar IEM for $100, and this is gonna be a positive review. I have a bunch of reviews pre-recorded, and I had to push this forward. I'm publishing this on Wednesday, so you guys can buy this right now. These are amazing, so we're gonna get into it right now. So let's get into the unboxing. I'm not big on the whole waifu stuff. I like anime, but this is a bit much for me. So, but I mean, to the people who like it, they like it, so they can enjoy that, I guess. So you open the box, has like a magnetic closure. You get this little framed picture of the thing that's on the cover, the two anime girls. So yeah, I didn't even open this. Probably gonna give it to like a friend or something. I don't know. And you get like this. Contact card that's upside down with like Seaudio's information and stuff like that. Seeaudio little booklet thing that nobody needs. And you get this box out and the IMs themselves. So can I get that focus, please? There we go. Kind of, maybe a little bit focusing. Yeah, I don't know. Put that here and let's close it up. Put that to the side. So we have the case, and of course it's massive, like every other IAM case. But I have to admit, this is a really nice quality case. I really like it. Like, it's just a quality thing, not like a portability thing. It's not portable, but it's got this like soft and squishy top, and underneath you get the tips and this nice clip for the cable here, like so it stays wrapped nicely. I like it. So we're gonna talk about the cable in a second. Here are the tips, the Zeus render tips, he calls them. And yeah, the cable's very nice. This cable reminds me a lot of the Kiwi's cadenza cable, except it's just nicer quality. And it stays pretty straight when I use it, and it's light, and it's nice for portable use. I really like it, actually. I think this is a great cable. I should probably mention what these retail for. These retail for $100, and I think they're worth much more. So that's this. Finally, I've been giving mediocre reviews for a lot of things. Not much hype on my end for things because there just hasn't been anything crazy recently. But this is gonna be nice. That's a little bit dirty from use. My bad, guys. It's just I've been using these for like ever since I got them, which was Friday. I did get these Friday, and so I really wanted to push these out as fast as possible. I usually keep things for like a week before posting it, but what am I doing? God. Anyway, I'm trying to maintain my composure here because otherwise I'm going to start screaming on the top of my lungs about how much I love these things. So let's just take out the tips. Something I don't like about the whole entire experience, like what's included, is they don't come with normal tips. At least mine didn't. All I had was the render tips, which are kind of like symbio tips where it's just a foam-filled silicone. And for me, I hate these type of tips. I mean, I understand why people would like them. Like, this is for sure. But these really fill up my ears, like, and make it uncomfortable, kind of like stretch out the inside of my ears. I do like the color coding. That's fine. You see how, like, it has, like, some foam in there so that it does hold shape. And then it'll, like, expand to the inside of your ear. I'm trying to get really good focus on you, but I can't. There we go. Yeah, and it'll just keep shape a little bit and eventually expand to the inside of your ear. For me, that's uncomfortable, but spin fits exist, and spin fits actually improve the sound, at least for me. So we'll talk about that right now while I bring in the Hexa here and the Meteor. I bring these in for comparison with everything. If you're wondering, this or Galileo, this 100%, this is better. This does what the Galileo wants to do, but better, I think, especially with the bass. So let's talk about the sound. These things are fun. That's the best way to describe them. Very, very, very fun. I would not say these are analytical in any way. If you want something that's flat, this is not it. Okay? And I think the number one competition for these is, I think you guys can probably guess, is the Truthear Hexa. If this would like to focus, that would be nice. And so yeah, these two are probably the biggest competitions for each other. And they have very different focuses. I think that the Truthear focuses on the mid-range and the Rinko is focusing on the bass, but not in a way that's obstructive to the music. Now, I found that in a lot of like bassy IMs, the bass just overtakes the whole track, and it really ruins the experience for me because I'm not a bass head, but I can appreciate good bass. I can appreciate that nice rumble, that impact. and this has that in a way that I've never heard in the price range. Actually, in a way that I've really never heard in most IMs. Period. It just really it envelops the music in a way where it's not muddy. It's punchy, but it's big, and it's just amazing. This is the Triaudio Meteor. I like to bring these in a lot for the bass heads. You know, people who like bass want something for rap and EDM. I'd say this is better for EDM than rap, but it still can do rap well too. Now I think that these are probably going to overtake anybody who wants these. To be honest, I don't think that there's too much of a reason to get this, but there's some small ones, so we'll talk about that right now. But first we'll talk about the Hexa first. I think that's a more important comparison right now. So let's talk about the highs. The highs I'd say are pretty even on these. I'd say maybe a slight edge to the Truthear Hexa because the Rinko, it has energetic highs, but it doesn't have a sparkle that you can get on the Hexa a little bit. Oh man, I don't know what's with the focus today on my camera. But yeah, so you won't get the focus. I mean, you won't get the sparkliness that a lot of treble heads would love on the Rinko. If you're a treble head, I don't think the Rinko's for you. It does have great treble. I don't want you to think that like what I'm saying means that it has bad treble. Not at all. Fantastic treble on these. Energetic, and you get detail. But it's not like you're not gonna get that like the sparkle. But at the same time, you're not getting any sibilance, which is what I like. You're not gonna get sibilance. You're not gonna get harshness. You're not gonna get fatigue. It's energetic, yet it's like perfectly rolled off for me. I like the way the treble's handled with this. Now, for mid-range, the mid-range on this it's not as forward as the Hexa. I think that the Hexa definitely has a more forward mid-range, and that's because the Hexa is very, very mid-range forward. But the Rinko has a very just middle of the road, like the mid-range is not too forward, not too far back. It's not recessed in any way. Great mid-range. It's got good detail in the mid-range. Sometimes I can feel the bass, getting into the mid-range a little bit, to be honest. Like it just gets in there a little bit sometimes, but not enough to be a real issue. So if you want better mid-range separation and just more forward mid-range, that would be the Hexa. Now bass. This just destroys everything in the price range. I think everything under like $300-$400 this can take on. This bass is just unreal. Now I listened to a track. It's called "Murder" by Solji. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'll put the track in the description. And I use that for testing bass on a lot of my IEMs and headphones. And usually I don't really enjoy the song. It's not a song that I enjoy. I just like listen to hear the impact. Hear this, and also it's got like some synth in it. Just like hear that kind of like that style of music to see like how does it perform. And I enjoyed the track a lot on these. I listened to the whole thing. I usually don't do that. I usually just listen to it for a little bit, just see how it can perform with these kind of sounds. And with these, I wanted to just keep listening. And it does that for a lot of music for me, especially electronic music. It just really performs it nicely. I'd say this is just number one for electronic music. For pop music, there's an argument the Hexa might beat it out, but they're very neck and neck here with pop music. Okay, but just the bass is wild. Now the Meteor, right? It's got good bass, but it's not as well textured, and it's a bit boomier than the Rinko. The Rinko's got just a type of just a punchiness. It's tight. It feels like a bass you'd get in a much higher end IM. Something that costs more. Just the quality. It's got just such a great quality. Now the highs are more rolled off on the Meteor, but I think the highs are better, like a little bit more detail, a little bit better done on the Meteor. But they're more energetic on the Rinko. I think the Rinko is something that'll get you like really like energetic. It's just an energetic sound. Well, this is a bit darker. And this has got the energy too. These two are more energetic. This is more of a relaxed sound, a little bit of a darker sound. These are brighter. But this has a slight warmth to it because of that bass. So it's just really like it's not too bright, but it's not warm either. It's really just an excellent sound that I haven't heard before in IM. It's very unique, and it's unique in a good way. I have you're probably gonna see the review of the if you're subscribed to me, you're gonna see the review on Saturday of the Tri i3 Pro, and that has a planar, dynamic, and BA. And I'm not gonna spoil everything in the video because then you're not gonna watch it. Okay, come on, I gotta get views. No, but it does something kind of similar to what this does, except it doesn't do it well in my opinion. Like it doesn't do it. I'll explain in the video, but these do it better than those can, and those have a type of strangeness to it, while these not cohesive. This is very cohesive. The bass coming from the dynamic and the other frequencies coming from the planar, the microplanar, is really cohesive. It sounds like it's coming from one unit, but it doesn't sound like it's all coming from dynamic because it doesn't have the dynamic timbre, but it doesn't have a metallic timbre either. It's very interesting, and this is just amazing sound. More downsides though on these. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect IM. It's pretty tight in the soundstage. It's not wide, but it's not like too intimate. It's smaller soundstage in both of these though, in my opinion. Like let's say this is your head, you're gonna get like this. It's not in your head. It goes out a little bit. But with the Hexa, you're gonna get a little bit more out, and then with this, you're gonna get a lot more out. I think that the Tri-Meteor has a really good soundstage. So if your soundstage is really important and you want bass, I think Tri-Meteor might be better just because this has a real wide soundstage in my opinion. And the Hexa's got a slightly wider stage than this. But this still has a decent stage. It's not in your head. Now, talking about sources, I usually don't like to talk about sources, but here I have to because I use this on two sources. I used it on my BTR5 and my DX300. And DX300 I only use at home, BTR5 I use out when I go out, you know. And these sound so much better on the DX300. Usually, like with the Hexa, you don't notice too much of a difference. Like you'll notice a little bit, especially in the bass department on the Hexa. But with the Rinko, it's just a completely different sound. It doesn't sound bad on the BTR5, but it's not what I'm talking about this whole time. Right now, I'm talking about at its peak. Now, if we're talking about when you're running on the BTR5, Bluetooth going out, the little bit less powerful source, because this wants power actually. I run this on high gain on my DX300. It's not that like it requires power to get loud. It requires power to sound good. It likes the high current, I think. I don't know. I'm not about that science stuff. I'm not knowledgeable enough to get into that. I'm just going with what I hear. Okay? And what I hear is that these sound really good on a powerful amp. On high gain. It becomes punchier. It does get a wider sound stage. It does go in my head a little bit when I go BTR5. But it goes a little bit closer. It doesn't have as good of a separation. That's another thing. Imaging on these is not as good as on the Hexa and on the Meteor. I think that the imaging is a little bit lacking because the bass is kind of big and doesn't leave a lot of space for the rest of the track. It just kind of, the bass kind of gets in the rest a little bit. It's not like oh my god, it's ruining it. No. This is the best IM under maybe I want to say $200-$300. Like I just got the Awful Performer 5. I don't have it with me on the table, though I really should have. I have the Awful Performer 5 for review right now, and I like these more. Now, does the Awful Performer 5 have better detail? Yes. Better soundstage? Yes, to be honest. Okay, the Awful Performer 5 has better soundstage, better detail in the highs especially. Okay, but these are more fun. This really fun IM. If you're looking, you don't care about like getting the most absolute accurate sound with perfect details. Get this. Even if you're not a bass head, this has energy in it. The vocals sound energetic. The bass sounds punchy, and the highs are nice and like just like in the track but not harsh. These are amazing. Okay, I don't like shill for IEMs almost ever. Okay, like if you look through my channel, the only two IEMs I really went like, oh my god, get these, is the Hexa and the Cadenza, and that's because they deserved it. And these deserve it too. I think that like there are certain IEMs in that come out where it changes the market on what's possible, right? And for me, that was like the Cadenza, the Hexa, and now this. Like this is like as game changing to me as the Hexa was, and the Hexa was a huge game changer for just overall. A lot of price brackets had to just fight to even be worth getting over just buying a Hexa for cheaper, And so I think that this changes the game. This is an amazing IM. I highly recommend it. If you're against all this waifu stuff, just just give it to somebody. I don't know, do something with it. Just you don't need it. Just ignore it. It is a little weird to have. I don't know. But yeah, I like the cable. Good cable. Case is interesting. Good for, I guess, if you're gonna put it in a suitcase or backpack. But I wouldn't use it portable. But just overall, build quality is nice. I like the build quality. Comfort is excellent. I should have probably mentioned that. Comfort is really good because if you can see from the size, it's like a little bit smaller in some dimensions than the Hexa. And it's just overall very comfortable compared to a lot of IEMs. Not huge. It's just, these are amazing. These are well built. I'd say the build quality is not the best in the price range, but it's got good build quality. And also, Z Reviews in his video on the IEM said they don't have a big design or anything. They're just like generic looking. I like the way they're designed, to be honest. I like the shape. It's actually kind of a unique shape. And if you can tell from the way the light's reflecting, these are not flat. These have kind of like these triangular peaks, and I think that actually looks kind of cool. And it's just understated. Yeah, it's not as good looking as like the Meteor and the some other IEMs, but I mean they're definitely not bad looking. Like they definitely don't look boring to me. I think they just look understated. Anyway, I don't want to keep rambling on. These IEMs are great. You've heard enough. You know to buy them if you want this kind of thing. Thanks for watching. See ya.